Welcome into sports. I'm Jordan Smith alongside Austin Parr here, and the Boise State Broncos somehow, someway, very much alive for a Mountain West championship game.
Yeah, we made it back from Logan. What a game last night. Christmas came early. It was definitely in the form of Dylan Riley. Despite everything that the Broncos were up against, including the 12th man, which we won't say who that was, but the Broncos found a way to grind out a gritty victory over Utah State for the 10th time in a row.
Pretty impressive. Let's show you an extended version of the highlights here. It was beautiful in Logan for a little bit. The penalties in this one, or the 12th man, were tough, to put it nicely, in the first half. The Broncos had a pick six taken away, which resulted in a 14-point swing towards Utah State.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the Broncos defense making plays without getting called for those egregious penalties, this one would have gotten away from them in a hurry until the most possible questionable targeting call I think I've ever seen in my life. But the problem was in the first half that they couldn't capitalize on the plays the defense was making, and then that targeting call happened, as you're going to see right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of those ones. You see Max Steed towards the middle there. He lowers his helmet as he pushes the quarterback down there, and they said he led with the crown of his helmet, even though he led pushing the QB down to the ground there, and that took away Ty Benefield's interception, and the Aggies scored on the very next play. So a 7-point swing. That might have been another 14-point swing.
Which just, I mean, it hurts you so much. It's tough to play on the road, tough to play against the referees as well. But the second half was a completely different story. The offense started to cook, especially Max Cutforth, over 300 passing yards for the first time in his career.
Cutforth chefing up on the road. The weather started to come down a little bit in Logan. Austin, you forgot your pea coat, man. That would have kept you warm out there.
Yeah, it was freezing.
That's where the defense is. It seemed like they seemed to step up in the biggest way possible. Boise State stepped up multiple times late in this one, stopping the Aggies on fourth down multiple times, putting the Broncos in the driver's seat to take control of the game late.
And that's what they did. Take control in the name of Dylan Riley. Over 1,000 yards on the season, and he goes over the century mark on what would be the game-sealing touchdown. Unbelievable late-game stuff in Logan.
Absolutely. The Broncos defense, just a brick wall from there. They prevented the Aggies from getting into field goal range. And somehow, some way, like we said, a Mountain West championship game is still on the table with a gritty 25-24 victory, 10 straight over the Aggies. Things got a little weird, though, because Boise State, they needed a win, but they also needed an SDSU loss to guarantee themselves a spot in the title game. One of those things happened.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is San Diego State fell in double overtime at New Mexico. New Mexico hasn't lost the home game all season long. They've won 6 in a row. Just unbelievable stuff. But that guarantees that it will now come down to computer metrics.
Yeah, here's a look at the Mountain West standings. We pulled it up here. And so basically, tomorrow morning, oh, that zoomed out farther than I expected it to. Basically, you can see at the top there, that's UNLV, New Mexico, Boise State, and San Diego State. Those are the top 4 teams right now. But tomorrow morning, the computer metrics will decide which 2 teams are the most deserving, because there's right now a 3-way tie for first place.
Mind you, UNLV plays tonight against Nevada, and a big-time win could launch them in the standings to potentially play Boise State in the championship, which would be here in Boise.
Yeah, which would be pretty unbelievable. So we'll see what happens. One more sleep, Bronco Nation, to see if they'll be playing one more game, a championship game, to get 3 straight.